describe myself to you?
Yeah.
Gray hair, blue eyes, 4'6".
Do you use little person? Do you say dwarf? What do you say?
Oh, you want to know about stature terminology. Little person. My mom is also a little person. She has achondroplasia, dwarfism, same as mine. Tell you about the gypsy. Oh, I shouldn't have told you this one earlier. That was my first sexual encounter. People would walk on the other side of the street when they saw her coming. She dressed very exotic. Very, very, very gypsy-like. She looked like a miniature version of Cher. I was fascinated with her. I would follow her in the grocery store. Saved up to $35 to get my fortune read. And it was a stormy night. I remember that. She read my cards. Ended up staying for hours, just talking. So we started up a friendship, which the friendship, of course, got deeper, went into a sexual relationship. The husband didn't know, of course. It was our little secret. My mother found out, which she was having none of this happen. The gypsy was my mother's age. And my mom would call the cops and have the cops show up. Well, she had an old house with a wooden floor, and there was a trap door in the floor underneath an oriental carpet. She'd pull back the oriental carpet and lift up the trap door and say, "Go hide." Now that was my first sexual encounter. I came out at 16, and very few people back in those days came out that early. I decided I was going to do this for Thanksgiving. My great aunt, she was a Methodist minister. At the end of grace, she always asked, "Is there anything you're thankful of?" So I stood up from the table and I said, "I'm thankful I'm gay." Well, I have twin uncles. They're sitting side by side each other. One punches the other one in the shoulder and says, "You owe me $20. I told you he was gay." My aunt stood up and looked at me and said, "Rich, tell us something we didn't know since you were a child." And yes, Lord, we're thankful that Richard's gay. Everybody was good with it except my mother. My mother turned as white as a ghost and just about fell over. She took it pretty bad for about a year. But after a year, she totally changed. I mean, it's like she was totally accepting. She could have been a P-flag mom. My first gay sexual encounter. That was with the guy I call Tarzan. He was 6'3", long blonde hair. Chiseled body. I had a mad infatuation with him. He invited me over to his house for a party. I remember I stopped and I got 9 bottles of Blue Nun wine. I have a glass. I have 2 glasses. I have 3. I lost count. I run to the bathroom. I locked myself in the bathroom, throwing up. Nobody else, it was the only bathroom in the house. Nobody else could go into the bathroom. I went, I made a big enough fool of myself. Time for me to leave. They get in the car. They come driving after me, and they're like, "Yo, where you going? I thought you were coming to Mexico with us." "Oh, really? You want me to go with you?" And I end up having a very romantic evening on the beach. It was my first sexual experience with another guy. I got into a little problem with some drugs, and my probation officer told me that I needed to do something with my life. And I had a friend of mine that wasn't the smartest tool in the shed, and she was going to beauty school. So I started with no intention of it ever becoming a career. I actually liked it. I actually had talent, and I took state championship in men's haircutting in 1983. I ended up working in a very well-known salon at the time in Scottsdale. Opened up my own salon, worked there for a while, moved to LA, had a fine job offer at 20th Century Fox. And out there, everything was fake and phony. Everybody was fake and phony. The LA lifestyle wasn't for me. So I came back to Arizona. Started doing hair, working off of a milk crate similar to the one sitting down here beside me. Came up with a platform that was shaped in an L with 2 steps up. It was like a stage that wrapped around the salon chair. You can't bring your platform in. I went through upper management, and nobody would listen to what I was saying until I quit. Now, out of the lawsuit, I wasn't looking for anything for me personally. I just wanted to right a wrong. Due to the lawsuit that I filed against that corporation, there was actual laws introduced into Americans with Disabilities Act that prevents discrimination against people in short of stature. Having bad backs is really quite common for achondroplasia dwarfs. I walked fine and could hike mountains and quite active until I was 40 years old. And when they got my MRI back, they were like, I don't know how you survived this long. I had 2 surgeries 4 days apart, 6 hours apiece. I didn't get full mobility back. That restricts my life in many ways. Putting dishes back up in a top shelf when I used to have a little step stool. I'd 1, 2, 3 steps and put the dishes away. Now everything has to be down at a low level. I like bars. The reason why I like bars is there's bar stools. You sit on a bar stool, you see everybody at the same level. Whether they're sitting, standing, coming, or going, everybody's at an eye level if you're sitting on a bar stool. People meet one little person, and they think we're all the same person. Dude, weren't you in The Wizard of Oz? There's this guy. I know it was you. He was wrestling down in Mexico. This is who I am. I'm gay. I'm an artist. I'm creative. And I'm a little person. What we needed to originally do, we just needed to set up a table. And then all of us just sat around the table and then all exchange stories. And then, you just cut it and piece it together like that. But no. I'm being put in front of lights like this, like I'm, under investigation.